All right, guys, we're back for game number 3. Fix the squares there. Battlefield of Eternity. Map choice of Archetype. We have the same bands other than Diablo being replaced. No more Asmodin, and we're going to get Hanzo as the first pick here for the side of Baby Makers. Muradin and Whitemane have been picked up here. Whitemane actually being picked over Deckard Cain. This is actually very interesting because they seem to favor Deckard Cain significantly on the side of Archetype and are now actually falling back to a less common pick for him. Now, I don't know if they're trying to bait out the Deckard Cain. We're going to see ETC in Deckard. This is really scary. I think we're going to see potentially a Stay a While and Listen, a Dragon Arrow, and Mosh combo in this game. But I think picking up the ETC at this point is a critical mistake because now on the side of Archetype, they see the ETC, but they might be doing something cheeky. They might be baiting the idea that they are going to use Mosh and they're actually going to use ETC as a solo laner with stage dive, which is definitely possible. Now, I don't know how I like that, but it is definitely possible that they're going to opt for that by baiting out the ETC. However, we're going to see the Greymane and the Liming taken on out of the hero pool, which now means we have Hanzo for the race, and Archetype has no race capabilities yet. They might opt for Artanis, they might opt for Vala. Maybe they'll go with a double support here, like Rhaegar and Whitemane. And Rhaegar can actually race. Going to see the Thrall for the solo and the Raynor. So Raynor going to be there to fill him full of daylight, and so Thrall and Raynor do have pretty good race potential. Hanzo obviously is better, but it is fairly good now on the side of Archetype. They will probably opt for the Sunder as it becomes an easy interrupt for the Mosh. There is also the knockback from Raynor to help with interrupting Mosh as well. And this is why I feel like we're going to get Artanis and Cassia here. They've almost completely countered the auto attack damage here. Thrall cannot come on in, Raynor cannot auto, and Thrall will have to be happy with just queuing them. To be fair, Thrall is a blend of queuing people out of their minds and also smacking them really hard when he has the opportunity to. And so for the final pickup here, we're going to see Arthas. So we're actually going to get Thrall in the 4-man with Arthas in the solo lane most likely. Now, this is a triple frontline. Triple frontline. Keep that in mind here. They have a lot of survivability. The Thrall, the Arthas, the Muradin. That's a lot of survivability. They all have self-healing. Raynor can self-heal. Arthas can self-heal. Thrall can self-heal. Muradin can have his second wind proc. But Cassia will have to definitely be careful here. The Cassia pick is going to make or break this game, I feel like. If Cassia is dumped on from Sunder, from Root, and from the CC, they 100% lose this game. Because they're not going to have enough damage here. And ETC is not going to carry them, I believe, without getting the God Mosh. Now, they could also counter engage. They get the Mosh, but there's 3 people they need to be concerned about. Muradin, Raynor, and Thrall. You capture Thrall and Raynor, you can get a God Mosh. Or stay a while and listen, and you basically bait out the Sunder, come on in for the Mosh, and now there's no interrupt. I think this could work. It's going to be very iffy, but we'll see how it works. And so we're going to introduce these two teams once again. We're going to have Amy Wan Kenobi on the Cassia. We're going to have a Sanch on that ETC. We're going to have a Lawlins on the Artanis. We're going to have a Stony on the Deckard Cain. And finally, we're going to have Slobo Laggins on the Hanzo. That's going to be Baby Makers. On the other side, we're going to have Solo on the Thrall, Super Flip on the Rainer, Virtuoso on the Murden, Rhanorus on the White Mane, and finally, we're going to have Odin on the Arthas. Now, we're actually getting Crash Lightning. This is kind of Monka-esque because Crash Lightning will get value, but this also makes it harder for Solo to poke and get Ancestral Wrath value. So you might see a tweaked build here. You will have the Ace in the Hole, the Rhyme, Third Wind, and Clemency. So we're going to get a bit of a dueling build instead, and no extra range on the root here, which would have helped with Cassia. But because of the fact that he is in the solo lane, this definitely does help a lot. And already 3 stacks on... Sorry, the game didn't flip over. Thankfully, not a whole lot happened. The slide across from Sanj onto Virtuoso, the damage from Amy, and it's not going to be enough to take down Virtuoso. And as he is Meridian, he'll just get the second Winter Star proccing. So we're going to see on the other side the Prog Rock, Simple Geometry, Sapphire, and Charge Strikes. So I like the Charge Strikes here a lot, especially when there's so many melee. Eventually you pick up the Titan's Revenge, you get the extra range, you get Martial Law. There's a lot of good things here for Amy to be able to play a lot further back and a lot safer. The knockback, Sanj taking a lot of damage, and well, stacks of Crash Lightning continue to go up. Solo is going to probably prove the worth of Crash Lightning at the rate this is going. They are clearing these waves super fast, and he's continuing to get stacks. Now, they have yet to complete the Simple Geometry, and really their biggest issue here, though, is that Amy is all of their wave clear. On the other side, Brawl, Rainer, that's going to be easy enough to do. And they do have Lawlins starting up the Bruiser. They have a Super Flip here starting up the Bruiser as well. But is he actually going to be able to... Okay, he did heal up. That was super scary there. But fours are here. They are all healing up. They have a wave pushing on in, a Lawlins clearing this up, and Odin will have to deal with the Bruisers. Now, we are going to get the Mana Tide, which gets less value because there is no Echo of the Elements. We will see the Fight or Flight. And... now, we have the Frozen Waste, the Thunderburn, and we'll also have the High Inquisitor. The slide across onto Virtuoso, a lot of damage from that Fend. The swap on back onto Solo. He does have the Wind Fury and a beautiful knockback from Super Flip. We'll keep him from chasing on in, but they have massive clear here for the boss. Hanzo just needs to focus on racing, and the rest can focus on peeling. They will take a lot of damage on Sonic, the root on top of him, and another root onto the side. They will be able to walk away, and if they have taps available, they'll be able to re-engage shortly. Top is cleared, bot is cleared. Slowbo needs to be careful. Super Flip very far forward. The flip on back, or the swap on back. Amy going to get a beautiful blind, and Lawlins, though, they need to watch out for the root. And the root from Stony will come on out, but they will not secure any kills on their own. The root from Solo going to land there. So on the other side, we have the Shield Surge. The Speed Metal? Oh, Monka-esque Speed Metal. The root, though, Solo continuing to get them stacks. Slowbo needs to just focus, like I said. A Super Flip, though, taking a lot of damage. The swap will not connect. Oni coming on in the rear. The root is going to land onto Lawlins. Solo coming on in, going to run Lawlins down. The root going to try and peel there. Sanj not going to be able to do too much there, and Lawlins will make it on back. Without that extra range on the loudspeakers, this is really wild. I don't think Speed Metal really does anything for him, but they are winning this race overall, and Lawlins unfortunately going to be stunned on out there. We will also have the Potion of Shielding with the Ring of Leech. We are now at 39 stacks of the Frozen Waste, by the way, 8 stacks there, and 19 on Crash Lightning. So they're going to be focusing on getting this Immortal down. Odin coming on in. We got Virtuoso going to land a big stun, but the double stun from the boss. Odin going to keep on pressuring on in there, running Amy down, but Sanch going to come on in with a nice slide to keep Amy from going on down. At this point, they do have a Solo trying his best. They'll be able to go heal on up and reset the situation. And trying to get that geometry down, we are at 15 of the 20, 19 once again of the 30, and 10 out of the 20 on the Prog Rock. And unfortunately, Slobo is not getting the angle. Sanch going to be rooted in and down? No, it actually only hits Stony. The swap, though, that's not the swap you're looking for, Lawlins. You just put yourself in danger, baby. And Slobo trying his best. The heals is going to be enough, but a lot of damage coming out from Amy. Virtuoso trying to escape, but the slide across. Sanch coming on in. He's going to be able to take down Virtuoso. They do lose Lawlins, like I said. Renoris going to be having to back on up there. Odin getting low. Amy twerking it there. And the geometry not going to be on point. The slide across, though, onto Solo. Amy with the fend. Solo will be going on down, and that is now 2 kills for 1. And they'll be finishing this Immortal up with a decent-sized shield. About 20 to 30%. So, Baby Makers have the race that I was talking about. They have a 24 out of 30 stacks. That's a lot of extra damage. We have 14 out of 20 stacks here. 15 out of 20 as well. 125 and 14 on the Pierce. Nice root there. Sanch taking a lot of damage. The root is going to lock him on down. They're going to have to avoid that and do so successfully. But the Immortal pushing on in, and towers will be going on down. Sanch going for that globe. Might cost him his life. He does have the slide. Amy going on in for the big damage. Going to take down Virtuoso. And they're pushing on in. Solo going to get a nice root. There is the Crash Lightning stacks. 27 out of 30. Stono going to be safe. We are now at 18 out of 20. Sanch will help secure that. And we are now at still 18. 136, 27 out of 30. And the damage numbers, Thrall at 25,000. Amy just absolutely twerking for their side, 21,000 and 19,000 as well. So taking a look at the talents, we will have the Ancestral Wrath, have the Unstable Compound with the Icebound Fortitude, give them the Axe, and finally Intercession. On the other side, we're going to see the Impale coming on out, which is going to make them, you know, really melt there. We got the Emerald, never outmatched, and Hammer on. Monka S, this build is absolutely wild. We're going to have the Warp Sickness here, so looking for those swaps and looking for those kill opportunities. There's Lawlins going to be locked on down against Odin. Well, he'll be able to dish it out temporarily, but Odin does win this battle when it comes down to it. He'll be able to run him down temporarily, but he'll be able to make it on out of there, Lawlin. So, 10s have now arrived. Are we going to get the Mosh? This is the critical moment. I don't think we will see the Stage Eye because this build, it has no value with Stage Eye. We have the Mosh Pit, we have the Suppression Pulse, we have the Dragon's Arrow, we have the Stay a While and Listen, and I think this is a Ball Lightning game in my opinion. They have a triple front line, and what are you going to do? Bring back maybe Solo? They definitely should take Ball Lightning, especially with a Mosh Pit. That's my opinion. 100% Ball Lightning. Never Valkyrie. Well, not never Valkyrie, but this is not a Valkyrie game at all. They're going to clear this up, and a top is going to be dealt with shortly on the other side. We do not have this completed, and 19 out of 20, one more stack there. Lawlins are going to come on in and try and start defending this, but they're actually started off this race. Slobo just needs a good angle to get his arrows on off. There he goes, going to get a nice angle, start knocking him on down. Still a 19 out of 20 here. And remember his autos, the stun, and they start chunking on down. Lawlins going to be on deep. Suppression Pulse coming on out. Mosh Pit, baby! Dragon's Arrow coming on out. We have the Ball Lightning, Stay a While and Listen. Odin is next on up. That's 2 down. Lawlins is on Virtuoso. There's the stun though. And Lawlins taking a lot of damage. The root. We get a quad root from Solo. Solo is looking for it, but it's not going to amount to any kills. And this Immortal race is now in favor of the baby makers. Sanch, though, all alone there, will be able to get on out, and with that, should be able to tap on up. They do have a little bit of time because halftime has yet to actually occur. Slobo is just sitting there waiting to get healed on up. Stony is at roughly, 60%. And Slobo coming on down, going to hit with arrows, still 19 out of 20. Once Prog Rock occurs, this is going to be infinitely better for their team. And we get simple geometry completed. This is going to help them race so well. And the RNG gods are on their sides for the baby makers. Sanch, though, going to slide across into safety. There's the Immortal going to land a stun. Amy is in no man's land right now. There comes out the Scarlet Aegis. They're trying to run him down. The Sunder has come. Lawlins getting this off. The Dragon now. Stay a while and get wrecked because baby makers hope you're going to want another one because that is 3 kills. They do lose 3 of their own, though, the baby makers. They are not focusing them down. Lawlins there deep onto Odin. Super Flip going to be slowed on down, and Lawlins looking for the kill there. Not going to connect, and that is 4 down. Sanch is not going to be able to escape, it looks like. Sanch tries to slide, does not successfully do so, and this actually turns in favor of the Archetype. All right, this is going to help them a lot, but we do have a Slobo there. Solo going to come on in and try and chuck him down. Virtuoso going to take a lot of damage from that fend. Amy continuing to apply that pressure, not scared of this 2-man. Slobo here. Oh, the big root onto Solo. Solo is about to go on down. This Immortal Race coming down to the wire, and they're going to secure the kill and get themselves the Immortal simultaneously. With that, Prog Rock is also completed. This is a very unshielded Immortal, but they have the man advantage temporarily. If they get a good stay a while and listen and mosh pit here, they can wipe the 3 members sitting up here right now. They do have suppression pulse ready to go. They have the arrow, and they're looking like they're Virtuoso getting heavily chunked on down there. The root, not going to really matter. Super Flip going to avoid that root there. Slobo just chunking them on down. 13 to 12. They're going to go and back on off. The arrow, though, across going to land. Lawlins, though, needs all the help he can get. He does have the shield. No swap going to happen, but they are rotating on down. Looking for it potentially. Oh, no. Arrow is down, but they're going to force out this fight. Mosh is available. Suppression Pulse is down as well. They're going to back on out and call it a day. They do have that 13, but not for long. Now, the key abilities are still up. Stay a while and listen. Mosh Pit. Sunder is there. The Ball Lightning is also there as well. This game is going absolutely wild so far. The swap, not going to connect with anyone. No root going to be there. Stony walking very far forward. Odin looking for the potential flank. They do have Super Flip coming on in, but they're going to be spotted by the arrows of Slobo. Simple geometry, did the math in some map hacking there. Going to be able to land that with arrows. So now at this point, they just continue their Immortal Race that they have here. Their superior Immortal Race. So we're going to see the Frostwolf's Graze, the Giddy Up. No choice yet for Arthas. Ooh, this positioning, looking for the potential gank here. Oh, Virtuoso and crew, they are trying to actually take this Bruiser camp. Are they going to just give this up? Sanch looking for it. He does have the ability to slide across. There's a Sunder being used. The Mosh Pit going to lock down too. The suppression pulse on top. There is the melting of Solo. The Solo kill has come on down. Sanch is going to be going down, but the Mosh Pit was successful. This is a fight all over the place. Amy getting low. Lawlins is really low. And there is a Solo actually dropping as is right now. Amy going to be able to tap on up, and they'll win this fight partially, but they'll also lose it partially, both teams. Now, they do have the superior race. This is sort of in their favor. Small team fights will make this much easier for them to race. Slobo should be getting all these arrows real easy. Halftime's going to occur, and they're going to have this mortal race on their side. However, no heroics are available for the next 30 seconds or so. Sunder is going to be available. Lawlen's going to be caught on out. Root is not going to land from Solo, but the root from Odin will instead. So playing defense is going to be pretty easy overall. Slobo can continue to land those arrows, bounce them around in these tight corners, and start chunking them. Unfortunately, not going to do much there. But Crash Lightning Thrall is also pretty scary when it comes down to it. We have all heroics available in a second here other than Mosh Pit. Sanch is going to be chunked on down. We do have, remember, we do have the Encore here. Interesting. And the triple strike. Ballin's looking for the swap, will not get it. We have the Ninja Assassin with the triple strike, like I said, and they're melting this Immortal on the side. Super Flip, not too scared. They knock on back, and there they go for Odin. Odin is deep on in there. Lawlens, there's the arrow going to connect only on Soul. Stay a while and listen, coming on up, and Odin will be going on down. Super Flip on the backside. We have White Mane trying to heal. Solo next up on the list, and Slavo will be able to get on out with the natural agility. Solo going to be going on down. Lawlens is still chasing Amy, trying to look for someone. Super Flip is in no man's land. The slide across. Super Flip is going to be going on down, and that's going to be a 3-0 for the Baby Makers. Now, Baby Makers are just going absolutely wild. These guys are like dads that are just finding out for the first time, and they're going to have a baby. And they're more than excited about it, because Baby Makers at this point are looking like they're going to hit 16 and beat the #1 seed in Division A West. This is going to be Upset City, a team that has never lost a series, going to meet their Baby Makers. This is a huge wave in the top lane. It's going to be coming on down here, and they have their 16 advantage. Mosh Pit is available. Stale Wall is up. Avatar is down. So they want to start this fight as quickly as possible. 16s, we're going to see the Titan Killer. We're going to get the Imposing Presence. Piercing Arrows for Roderick, Staff, and the Penetrate alongside a Lunging Strike. So we got the full Fend build here. Amy super deep. Oh no, Amy going a little too far. Ball Lightning going to be used. Not at all. The Mosh Pit going to be coming on out. This is a disastrous situation. Odin going to get him locked on down. Lawlens next on up. Sanch going to be able to make it on out. But the rest of the crew, that is 3 members down. And I gotta say, Amy is getting paid to throw this game. This keep doesn't even go down. Amy, it does go down. What? It must have been one of the circles from the Immortal. So they lose 3 members, but they get the keep. This is definitely worthwhile. They do hit 16s though. We're going to have the Thunderstorm available. We got Paint Them Red. We have the Stone Form. So this is going to make Virtuoso much more survivable. We've got the Harsh Discipline as well. And like I said, there's the Thunderstorm, 1 stack. No choice yet for... There we go. We got the Remorseless Winter with the Biting Cold. And no choice yet for White Mane. Still no choice. So, Amy went in way before anything of value was happening there. Amy is the last person who should be engaging in the fight. You have Lawlens, you have Sanch, you have 2 people who should be going in at all times before you. To stay a while and listen, and or the Dragon Arrow is your cue as Cassia to go balls to the wall and melt some faces. So, a tower going to be going on down. Neither team opting to pick up their bruisers at this point. I like to see them go on back, trying to chase down that raider there. And they're going to be starting up the camps as we speak. So there's a lot of pressure building up here. We already have 2 catapults. We have a 3rd catapult that's coming on down. We're going to have the Shaman camp coming on down with the catapults. And this is going to give them a major race advantage. All they need to do is push on in now because it's a 5v4. And that's exactly what they're not doing, is pushing on in while it's a 5v4. Instead, they're going to focus on actually taking down the shaman camp first. And in this time, they're actually going to be able to race. I like this decision here. They know they have to back on off on the side of Archetype because there's a shaman cap, a catapult, and a big wave pushing on in. So they have to deal with this. So get as much pressure on the immortal as you can. And then when one goes back, you can be happy that you've done something of value. So they're going to push on in. At this point, Virtuoso all alone. Slobo coming on in. There's the damage. And they're going to keep on doing their thing. Amy going to be hit there. Not going to really matter too much. They're going to be chunking it down. Thrall coming on back in. Solo already half life, going to be tapping it up. Halftime is going to be coming on up shortly. They need to just back on up. Virtuoso coming on in. We got the blind, the swap on back to safety. The dragon arrow. Amy is in deep there, but we'll be able to back off in time. And the army of the dead have come. And Odin does have a lot of sustain here. They'll be able to back on off and just wait this out because Core is now under pressure. Baby makers have all the time in the world. They can delay all day. Slobo doing what he can. The root though, and they'll be able to go back to racing here momentarily. Core has already taken damage. We have 3 catapults up there, and this is the make or break situation. How large are the shields going to be is really the question at this point. Slobo continue to get the pressure. There's the halftime damage from Amy. Not going to be enough to kill Virtuoso. Amy, though, in no man's land. Sanch, we need the sail while and listen. Sail while coming on out. The Sunder, though, is beautiful. Holding them on down with the Mosh. The swap on back. Solo is there. Virtuoso going to be going down. Amy's going to be going on down. And it is a 1-for-1 trade. They need to back on out pronto because they have this advantage, but the damage from Super Flip. Stony trying to run. Do we have the root in place? There's a lot of damage. Sanch though with a beautiful slide. There's going to be a 1 down. Sanch trying to make it on out, will be successful, and the catapult pressure is restarting to mount. So they played that 100% wrong on the side of Baby Makers. They overstayed. All they needed to do was wait for the catapults, wait for them to go and leave and fight 5v4. Amy was in a very poor position, coming on in when, well, there was no one there, and basically she was positioned up here while Sanch was positioned down there. They're trying to delay this out. Slobo should actually be racing. I don't know why he's up here to try and defend this. He'd be better off racing because they're going to get the immortal pressure off of this. Super Flip getting chunked down heavily. They're actually going to give over this immortal. And if this immortal goes top lane, they're going to lose a lot of pressure when it's all said and done. Slobo trying his best, but they're going to lose this immortal 100% at this point. But they do a good job of chunking it down as much as possible. So Immortal is going top. They can now counter push in the bot lane, or they can defend. Now, I hate to be negative, but Amy is definitely costing them heavily in their advantage so far. Like, the time she's died basically has been when she's been out of position. Out of no fault of her teams other than her own. The Sunder, though, coming on in. Stay a while and listen, trying to save Sanch. The ball lining. We get a beautiful arrow. Odin continuing to push on in. There is the NA Mosh. They're going to lock down Odin. Is this going to be enough? Wallen's going to try and survive here. And Baby Makers are throwing this game in spades. Stony is down. Amy's about to go down. And they are going to lose this game, I believe, at this moment. This is the moment they're going to look back on, and they're going to be like, we lost it right here. The Immortal is almost down. Slobo can do his best, but if they get another kill, this is a 100% game. There's no question if that is going to be game or not. 30 seconds before even Stony is up. They're not looking to end this, it looks like. Are they? They are looking to end it. Catapult is here to keep them from pushing in fully. We have no Mosh Pit. That Mosh Pit was heavily wasted. Virtuoso being chunked down here. I think they're going to do it. Archetype is going to win this game. Are they? The blind, though. Slobo trying to dish it out. The damage onto Lawless and Sanch is looking like it's going to be enough to take him down. They've delayed the inevitable, and Archetype coming out of the jaws of death. They have shown that why they are #1 seed, taking advantage of 2 misplays or 3 misplays there from the likes of Baby Makers in winning game number 3. So everyone should press F to pay respects. This might be one of the most, if I was playing on Baby Makers right now, one of the most disheartening losses you could possibly have. Baby Makers had this game in the bag. They had catapult pressure top. They had everything they needed to win the Immortal, win that game easily. Instead, they decided to flip the table over and throw that game in spades. Taking a look at the Sage there, Solo, Odin, and Superflip doing a mountain of saging there, 95, 86, and 81k, with really Baby Makers not really doing too much siege when it was all said and done. It was really the Immortal pressure, the kills that they got really helping them. Solo, 120,000 damage. Crash Lightning value, there you see it, boys. Amy getting a mountain of damage, 85,000. This is why it was so crucial that she stayed alive. They lost their top damage dealer 4 times. Slobo died 1 time, 75k, 75.6k damage. Imagine if Amy died 1 time. She'd be sitting at potentially 100,000 damage right now. Next up, Superflip coming in really close to Slobo, and then the damage numbers drop pretty monumentally when it's all said and done. Looking at the total healing, Stony played out of his mind, 107,000. 76k there for Whitemane, and then finally for the tanking, Sanch, 106,000, 99k for Lawlins, 92k for Virtuoso, and 90k for Odin. And then taking a look at the actual XP, Odin XPing out of his damn mind, 18.5k, 14k for Superflip. That's a lot of XP. And taking a look once again at those talents, the 20s, we had the Windrush, the Duskwing, Death's Advance, and Rewind alongside of Wicked. We did have Orbital Bombardment and Death Metal as well from Sanch to try and delay it, and finally the Titan's Revenge, which we never got to see really in action. Now, like I said, this is perhaps one of the most disheartening losses you can have as a player if I were in their shoes. Largely because there's very, very easily identifiable moments in this game. This isn't like a situation where, oh, we played like ass as a team. No, Baby Makers did not play like ass as a team. I could count them, 3 misplays on their team that literally cost them the game. Misplay 1, Amy going in before Stay a While and Listen, Mosh Pit, or Dragon's Arrow being used when they had a 16 versus 15 advantage. They lose 3 members, and the Immortal does get the keep, but they lose 3 members and potentially closing out the game. Mistake number 2 that cost them the game. Amy rotates above the tanks, and the tanks don't actually rotate with her. So someone was in a misposition there. Either the tanks are not where they need to be, or Amy is not in position she needs to be. Amy gets run down. They take that. They go and do the Immortal, and they win the Immortal. There's a 2.5 mistake off of that. They have ETC and Slobo, and I can't remember who else on defense. Slobo, ETC, and everyone else should have been racing. That race would have been... That race could have potentially actually stopped the Immortal push much earlier, keep the keep up just long enough, and maybe even get everyone to respawn. There's also the potential they may have even won the race because Hanzo is just that good at racing. If Hanzo was on that Immortal the entire time, they could have potentially raced, won the race, and then it would have been like, oh, no big deal. Or like I said, a very small shield on that Immortal, if any shield whatsoever, and making that defense much better. Now, finally, we had final mistake is where they tried to defend. We had an NA Mosh, we had people, key members all get picked off other than Slobo. So there was no route to keep him from running. We had no Cassia damage, and well, the pieces fell where they may after that. Additionally, taking a look at the talents, we also had what I'd consider a very awkward build in general from ETC. We had Speed Metal, not the loudspeakers. We had Hammer On, which ETC should never be focusing on damage really. Like the 35% more damage really doesn't do anything. Um, so yeah, that definitely didn't help as well. And no loudspeakers, no additional size for that knockback. Really definitely hurts. The Encore and not the mic check with a team with 1, 2, 3 melee. So you get massive cooldown reduction. And to me, imposing presence is okay-ish. But they had a Crash Lightning Thrall. Crash Lightning is most of the damage going to be done. Additionally, aggressive shredding to me is the better choice because just get more ease off, which means more healing and more armor consistently. So I feel like this build definitely didn't help them in the long run as a team. And they really needed to focus on, like I said, that race, back on up, let the catapults push on in, and basically win the game off of that. So even if the first mistake that I mentioned made me going in too early, well, all they needed to do was walk away for that 19 versus 19, wait for catapult pressure, and they win. Fortunately, that didn't happen for them. So we'll be right back, and we'll be trying to get an interview with Solo.